is up, Royals? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be showing you how to plant your first okra plant in a container, in a pot, in a bucket, whatever you want to plant it in with success. So if you want a successful plant like the one you saw earlier, then just keep on watching. The first step in getting your first okra plant potted is picking a container. In this video, I am using a 5-gallon bucket. When you're picking a bucket, you want to pick a pretty big bucket. If you could get bigger than a 5-gallon, that would be great. I already pre-drilled the holes. I have 3 holes around the perimeter of the bucket. If you want to see how I did that, I'll link the video down below. You want to have drainage because you want your okra to be able to drain well. You don't want water just sitting in the soil. It needs to be well drained. So once you pick your bucket, we're on to our second step. The second step is choosing your soil. In this video, I used Organics potting mix. It's a very lightweight soil. Water can move through it very easily. It doesn't get super condensed and super packed, so that, you know, your plant can breathe and it can get the oxygen and everything that it needs. So you want a well-draining soil so that your plant can grow. Okay, so once you've got your soil, you want to pour your soil into your bucket, and you want to fill your bucket up pretty high because okra plants need a lot of nutrients. They're a huge plant. They get huge. Work that soil and get all the clumps out of the soil. Make sure it's nice and even. And then we're going to move on to fertilizer. So in this video, I use the Dr. Earth's fertilizer. Is for vegetables. It says potato, vegetable, herb fertilizer. So this is a slow release fertilizer. So what this is going to do is it's going to release once your plant has been growing for a while. So it'll release probably like a month into your plant growing, so that your soil still has that nutrients and everything that it needs. You're gonna go ahead and read on the package how much fertilizer you need for your bucket size, and go ahead and dump that into your soil. You're gonna combine that all together. Once again, make sure that it's mixed well, because you don't want the fertilizer to burn your plant. You just want it to fertilize your plant, you know, give it that nutrition. So once you got that done, we're going to move on to the next step, which is putting your baby seedling into the fertilizer. You're going to pop that baby out of its old raggedy cup. You're going to dig a hole in the soil, just deep enough so that the soil from your seedling meets the soil in the container. So you don't want to bury the okra plant too far, if that makes sense. You want to keep it consistent with the level of the previous soil. So once you popped your baby out of the old cup and put her in her new home, you're gonna, you know, work her in, get her nice and tight, and we're on to our next step. So the next step is going to be a soluble fertilizer. And what a soluble fertilizer does is it fertilizes now. Your plant is going to get that nutrients now, which it needs because you just took it from its previous home and just put it in a new home. So it's going to need that nutrients. So you want a soluble fertilizer, and what I use is this Alaska fish fertilizer. It doesn't burn your plants. It does very well. You just read on the bottle however much you need. So I use a 1-gallon jug. So to 1 gallon, you're gonna put 2 tablespoons of fish fertilizer into the gallon. You wanna make sure it's mixed up nice and good, and you're gonna go ahead and fertilize that plant. You wanna soak it in, you wanna soak the soil, make sure it's nice and drenched, basically. And that's going to feed your plant and just make sure that it's getting that nutrients that it needs to grow. With this soluble fertilizer, The last thing is, while your plant is growing, you want to make sure that you're keeping the watering routine pretty consistent. You might want to water like every other day, depending on how hot it is in your region. For me, I'll water every other day because I live in Texas. It's pretty hot, and I will use the soluble fertilizer once a week just to keep the plant fertilized and make sure that I'm giving it the nutrients that it needs to grow healthy fruit. What I will tell you is you will eventually need to stake your okra plant, so you might want to buy some stakes down the line because they get pretty big and bulky and they will start to fall over. So make sure that you stake it once it starts to sprout. So I hope that was easy enough. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to try to plant your okra in a bucket like myself or in a different type of container. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's all you need to know to plant your first okra plant and have success. That is pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up, and I will probably have a harvesting video for you guys coming soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, Royals.